Today we're making Chatham Artillery Punch, or at least my version of it. I'm going to start off with some whiskey. I'm gonna add in some spiced rum. No, I don't measure, I just go with the flow. Last whiskey is gonna be some Hennessy. I'm also gonna add in some orange extract. Then I'm gonna zest the lemon, and I'm gonna zest it really good because I'm kind of good at zesting lemons. It's a hidden talent. I'm also going to add in half of a lemon. I'm going to get some fresh lemon juice. And I'm going to squeeze this really good. So you can see all the lemon juice that's going in here. Next, I'll be adding some Prosecco. Because what's a drink if Prosecco is not part of it? I don't care. Every drink ever, I will add Prosecco. Lastly, I'm going to top it off with some lemon juice. And then I'm going to add in some sugar. Just to make sure that this is drinkable. And look at that fizz. And whoopsie, maybe I should have added the sugar first. I'm still learning, you guys. And throwing in some cinnamon too. Why? Because why not? Stirring it up, and here we are.
All right, let's give this Chatham Artillery Punch a try. It's not bad. It will definitely get you fucked up, I can tell. It's not bad though. I want to add something, like maybe a little bit more sugar, but that's not what we're here for, okay? Today we're talking about an Academy for Liars. So I gave this 3 out of 5 bloody noses. The things that I liked about this book was that it had a black FMC, so yay. She was 24, so not a teenager, so double yay. This didn't feel like a black story. It was just like the lead person is black. Like it just felt normal listening to it. The things that I'm just like, I don't know. It was very hard for me to root for Lennon. I was like, I love your name. I love that you're black. But there were a lot of issues with Lennon. Mainly her interest in older men. One thing you will come to learn about me is I do not like the age gap trope. It's not for me. It will never be for me. I'm making that known. I'm making that known. Any books that I review here on out, I'm gonna probably deduct some points because I absolutely hate that trope. So there's that. So you have her relationship with Wyatt, who is her fiance, I guess like ex-fiance, and he is older. I think he was a teacher at her old school. I sometimes zone out when I'm listening to these books, it's sad to say, because you know, this thing, it's always working. So like, there's Wyatt, who isn't a great boyfriend, fiance, he's cheating on her. But there's also Lennon, who's just like, she doesn't do anything. Literally, she just left. She stole his car and left. And I'm like, girl, I would have grabbed my phone and hit record, and then I would have got a burner phone and I would have sent it to him and be like, if you don't give me $10 million, I am going to ruin your fucking life. I don't know. I would have done something. But she left, right? So she gets this call from this rando who sounds like, static? Sounds like a bunch of different voices, sounds like her, invited her to this academy. And the crazy thing is I forgot where she was actually. She was in Colorado, but the interview to get into this academy is in Utah. So she just like up and drove. Like, baby girl didn't ask no questions. She was just like, yeah, sure, my life is fucked, why not? And I'm just like, I would have asked some questions, right? I would have done something. All she did was like put it in her GPS, and she goes. So anyways, at this academy, she gets in, obviously, that's why we're talking about her. So at this academy, basically, like, the thing is they do a lot of like persuasion. They can like get in your mind. They can make you forget things. I think they can make you misremember things. I think they can put thoughts into your head, and then they can like physically, like, with their minds, they can physically like stop you from doing things, right? So that was interesting. It's different. It's a different magic system. I like how like everyone's kind of like on equal footing with the exception of people who like Claude, who I think his family is like Drayton royalty, like with the exception of him and maybe a few others who like their parents went there or somebody in their family went there, like they know, but everyone else is just like new. They were just like, what, one guy was a librarian, the other guy was like scum of the earth, he died, so who cares. So like that was cool, I enjoyed that. But again, Lennon made it really hard to root for her. Every time somebody tried to kill her, I'm like, get her, she got to go, she has to die. And the reason that they're trying to kill her is because like they think she's too powerful, but they also think she doesn't know how to use her power, which is very true because bitch is way emotional. Every time she gets angry or embarrassed, she's like fucking shit up, right? So like, there was one point toward the end of the book where like they caught her and she thought she was gonna get away and they kept catching her. I was like, can we just end it here? Because like obviously she got something going on up here. And I know you want to be like sympathetic and root for the main character, but I just couldn't. I don't know. I felt her so annoying. Like, she didn't listen. And even as Dante, who is her advisor, says, like, you lack discipline. And like, baby girl, you do. Like, people are telling you to shut up, not ask questions, to do this, do that. And you always are coming back and fighting them. And I don't know, like, I just get so annoyed when that's how an FMC is. And like, she's not the first, she won't be the last, but it's just like, why are you so fucking stubborn and wrong? Like, if you're stubborn and you're right, okay, cool, but like, you're stubborn and wrong. Like, it's giving annoying. While I was listening to this book, I did have to ask myself, because again, she's not the first FMC that I'm just like, ew, I don't like you. Why is it that I don't like these FMCs? Like, is there a part of them that I see inside myself that I don't like? So therefore, I'm just like, ooh, I don't like this part about me, and like, it's on full blast for you, so it's making me feel some kind of way, like maybe that's why I don't like them. And then I had to ask myself, am I the annoying FMC in my story? The answer is probably yes, but that's fine. That's fine. I can live with myself. I cannot live with these FMCs though. So anyways, back to the story. Sorry, I just had to go on that little tangent, right? One of the reasons why I don't like her, aside from like her being stubborn, her being super emotional, it's like all the negative self-talk. I don't like that either. But like Dante, who's her advisor, who I think is like 10 years older than her, which some people might not think 10 years is a big age gap. I do. But it's just like, she is like in love with him. Like, it's so weird to me because I'm just like, this guy really hasn't shown you any attention. Like, yeah, he's like making sure you don't get killed, and he's like making sure you stay enrolled in Drayton, but like, he hasn't shown any affection. So I'm really confused as to why you like him, other than like, he has a face like Adonis. So I'm just like, okay, so he looks good, but like, and he got tattoos. Girl, I get it, but like, why are you so into him? Other than that, like, what else? And even like the first time they had sex, I think like she like asked him some questions, she saw that name tattooed on him, and then it read to me like she just laid there and let him fuck her. And I was just like, this is not making me feel anything. This is not making me like y'all. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. But in the end, obviously she doesn't die. She actually ends up taking over the school, which okay, good for her. But then she like leaves the school because she doesn't want anything to do with it, because she doesn't like how the school operates. But she has to keep the gates up. I didn't go over any of this, but the whole thing is, she is welcome to the school because she has powers, right? And then as they're assessing her, they see like she has a lot of potential, at least Dante does. And they realize that she has the potential to keep the gates or like the wards up, right? Because the person who is currently keeping them up is like on his deathbed, like literally. Like, he is like decrepit, he is shriveled up, it's a mess, okay? And so initially they wanted to expel her, but then Dante saved her, and then they realized like, oh, we probably actually need her. So the whole thing is like trying to get her to harness her power, to learn her power, so that she can just basically take over this guy's job, who He is bedridden, but I don't know if that's because of his age, because of the power. Has he always been that way? Like, I don't really understand that part. I don't know if they explained it, but something about him, like he was able to live like much longer than he was supposed to, because the school was founded like, I don't know, back in slavery times, maybe after slavery. I don't know. The school is really old, and this guy is supposed to be dead like decades and decades ago, but he's still alive. So there's something that's keeping him alive. So like, she doesn't obviously want to take over because she sees him in the state, which again, I did not think it was well explained if he was there because of the gate in that state, or if he was just old and they were just keeping him alive. As she replaces him, because eventually she does replace him, as she replaces him, she's like living off campus, living in old dude's house, Dante's house, rent free. Dante's gone, dead, so we think, right? But she's like channeling her power back to the school, just living her life. So I'm just like, girl, if this is what you could have done, then why were you fighting them? Like, I don't know if they were like gonna try to keep her locked up or what, but I'm just like, if this was an option the whole time, then like, why did nobody check it out? Like, I don't know. Stuff like this. It's just like, I was like, did nobody ask questions? Did nobody like see? Did we not do any tests? Any experiments? It took her taking over the school, kicking all the professors out, putting her friends in positions of power for y'all to realize like, oh, she doesn't actually have to be here and be like tied to the school, like literally tied to the school to have the gates up. I don't know. It was kind of weird there. I think I would have liked to see them doing more. Obviously, like, everything's kind of contained to the school, and there's like a few times where it's where they go outside of the school and you get to see some of their powers. But how it was explained, like, these people, like, they're used to like incite insurrections, incite disobedience, to change minds of like dictators or whatever. I don't know if this is a standalone book or not, but I'm just like, this would be great to like see them in action, like on a global stage. That's what I think, right? Conclusion, I gave this the 3 bloody noses because I just really didn't like the FMC. The magical system was interesting. The story was okay. For me, I didn't feel a lot of feels for the characters other than my disgust at Lennon. And I guess I felt disgust of Eileen, who was, because she obviously like raped Dante when he was a kid, so that was gross. But other than that, I didn't really feel anything. Like, I didn't feel like the characters were that well developed, or maybe I didn't get enough of their story to where I'm just like, oh, I love this character, or I really hate this character. I was just like, okay. And then like, when she was trying to escape and her friends were helping her, and she was like, why are you helping me? And they're like, we're your friends. And I'm just like, are they? Because I never got that, other than like Blaine, who's her roommate, and maybe Sawyer. Everybody else was just kind of there. I didn't get the friendship. I didn't get it. It didn't come across to me. But anyways, is it worth checking out? I'm assuming the author is black, so I would say check it out because she's black, but I could have lived without the book, honestly, which is sad for me because I always want to root for black people, but it wasn't for me, I don't think. But if there are other books that she comes out with as part of this, because like the premise is interesting, I would be interested in more, but this book just was not that interesting to me, if that makes sense. These are just my personal opinions, and what do I know, right? So that's all I have for this episode of Boozie Books, where we talk about books worth sipping over.